everyone. My name is NerdBuilder. I'd like to welcome you back into another episode of MineColonies. I hope you're having a great day so far. So, this past week has been very busy on our live streams. We got a lot done this past week, and I'm really happy because, there are a lot of little projects I wanted to do that we were able to get done. One, for example, on our most recent live stream, that we put in a lot more road everywhere going up and down around our colony, so it's going to give our car a little bit of an easier time getting around. But you'll also see behind us, we now have a runway, and well, I guess it looks like a road, but a runway and a sand stopping pattern in the back here. So we also messed around a little bit last week and figured it out this week, the ultimate plane mod, which, I may do a separate video on the ultimate car mod and the ultimate plane mod, specifically on making fuel and actually getting the components, because it's not as intuitive, but once you get the hang of it, it's really easy and it's a lot of fun. Like I said, we obviously have an Elytra now, but for short range travel in the colony, it's going to be great to have the car there, have the car to get us around, and then we can also go up in the plane and circle around, and if we need to find something. And there are a lot of options like cargo planes, for example, which I do want to make a cargo plane because that way we can go by like our iron farm and there. And then like I also want to make a truck so we can more easily move materials around there. And we still have some pending construction you could see over in the distance by the barracks. The barracks is now fully upgraded to level 4. We have 4 towers all upgraded to level 4 as of this week. And we also put in 2 more couriers huts. So we have a total of 6 now because we've had a little bit of a supply chain issue that's been holding things back. So they're in the process of still upgrading the couriers huts up to level 2 now. I think in our next week of live streams, we're going to focus on getting the couriers huts upgraded to level 4 so they can carry more stacks of material, just because I think that'll help alleviate some of the issues that they've been having. At least I'm hoping it will there. But yeah, so that's been going on here. And I'll also show some of the other changes that we made. But first, I figured we could take the plane up very quickly and just do an around. So let me just explain here what's going on. So originally we started off with a shorter runway. The runway used to end just about like right here. The runway used to end. So we added to it. And the reason that we added to it was because we need a longer runway for takeoff, and I'm assuming with the cargo plane that's going to be larger, it's going to need a longer runway, so we might even have to extend this out even further. But, through the help of the builders, we got these all moved. We got this expanded out here, and eventually I think what we're going to do is we're going to put some torches like on poles, kind of like, as a guide coming into the middle of the runway right here, so we kind of get a distance, because every time, oh nice, pretty fireworks. So when we take off, we're going to be taking off into this direction, and when we land, we're going to be landing in this direction, because it would be very difficult to land over the warehouse right there, and this provides lots of flat land. So I figured we could take the plane up very quickly, but I just wanted to explain the runway a little bit. We have some little redstone torches. They serve mostly just for decorative purpose, just to lights on the edge of the runway. And over here, which, with the ultimate plane mod, I definitely recommend doing it because it's very easy to crash the plane and there's like a lot of damage that's done. And these planes are expensive. The tools to repair them are expensive. So the soul sand patch back here will work on stopping the plane. I've tested it a few times that the plane will get up to like the second row here. But after that, like it will just it'll sit there. We could get it out. It doesn't get stuck, but it's a good barrier to stop. And that's part of the reason we put the wall back here. So, because originally, as I mentioned previously, the plane had crashed into the back of the house over there when we were aborting a takeoff, and it couldn't stop it in time. So this is like the most basic of the planes here. It holds about 15,000 MB of fuel there, and we'll get the engine started. Of course, you could choose whatever your key bind is for it. but I have it, I have a few keys set. I have it set the same as the Ultimate Car mod, and then WASD to essentially W make the plane go up, S bring the plane down, A and D left and right respectively. There, and then I use my side keyboard number 2 for reducing throttle and number 1 for the brake. So you can see on there like the throttle increases, you can see the speed of it. So we'll go right to the end here and we'll go up full speed. Now we'll stay in the third person. You can toggle into the first person, but you can see it picks up pretty well. The stall speed for all those flight enthusiasts out there, the stall speed of the plane appears to be roughly about 45, just under 45 kilometers an hour seems to be the stall speed. The max speed I think we've achieved on the plane has been like about 120 there, and it didn't break up there. I haven't gone that much faster, but yeah, we have 100% throttle on, but you can see we're actually getting pretty tall. I don't have the render distance turned up currently. Like I have it on 21, which is still pretty far, but a lot of times when we're out here, when we're in the colony, we get a little bit of lag, but when we're outside the colony, we don't really get that much lag. So you can see we're actually getting up pretty high. We're almost 200 blocks up, and we're going at 97 kilometers an hour. So you can see it's got a very good turn radius, actually. And you can see over in the distance here with the, our stronghold and our end portal. And it's taken a lot of practice. I'm still kind of at landing. But let's see, let's scale back on the throttle. And, we'll come down. We might have to make a few loops just to try to slow down. You can see we're picking up some speed. Let me throttle back all the way. Definitely not going to want to land like this. And we're actually not even close to our runway. But we could go over the top of our colony here. We could see, I think it's getting really impressive. I'm very happy to see how large it's getting here. So very good stuff. So let's go around here. Be careful not to crash the thing. But let me apply a little bit more thrust. You can see we're slowing down a lot. There, so we'll slow it down. Like I said, it took some trial and error, but we have the added challenge of trying to do a landing right on the edge here. So we have to be careful not to come in too low, but also not come in too tight or too high either. So let's go ahead and let's see, we might actually run out. Let's see, can we stop before there we go. We needed the soul sand, but that's a good example. So we probably could go with a longer runway still on it, but you can see right there it gets to like about the second patch and it stops. And then it actually shuts the engine off. I turned the engine all the way down, and it did a little bit of damage, it looks like. We might have to do some repairs. You can see a little bit of smoke coming out of the front of the plane. But let's go ahead and move it over. The tools are very expensive, I will say, for it. Let's see, we'll park right over here. Yeah, that'll be good. And let's turn it off for now. So we'll leave it right here. But the tools to repair are very expensive. They require a lot of diamonds, and you can break the plane, but it uses half the tool. So let me just show. We'll go into our JEI here. And I'll show these are the different planes, but this is the most basic one. And you can see we need a plane engine, which you need diamond reinforced iron, which requires 6 diamonds for every iron, like diamond reinforced iron. So it does get very expensive. And you can see right here, essentially we need 12 diamonds, which, for some, because you have a lot of diamonds, it might not matter so much. We're very low on diamonds, unfortunately, in the colony. I think we're going to have to do more mining on some of our live streams. But yeah, these tools are very expensive. So, I haven't used we haven't used it a lot. We've done a few test rides with the plane. It's a cool mod there, but it is like a very expensive mod. And, I broke 2 wrenches trying to repair the thing after we had a few mishaps initially with it, because it is a very difficult, it is a difficult landing, just like coming in like this and making sure that we're not we're not clipping the side here, because we need to have the wall up on the side because it keeps the pirates out. So we have to make sure that we're clearing this so we're not hitting the side and coming down the runway. So I'll be interested to see. Eventually we'll make a cargo plane too, and I'm assuming that might need a little bit of a longer runway, and it might need a little bit more to actually land. So that'll be very interesting. But let's hop in the car before it gets dark, and let's head on over and we show some of the other things that we were working on this week. We could start, with the road. We also have, let's stop right here. I'll show this. So we finally expanded our rail system as well. And the main reason for doing so was our couriers have been massively backlogged. That's why we built 2 new couriers huts. But there's been a backlog, and we came up with this like a temporary system. Eventually we're going to put in, I think, a subway system, so these will be underground. But for the time being, until we can get to that project, I just wanted to have some rails so that the colonists could get around, and it would hopefully help them get places sooner, especially the couriers. So we had to do some powered rails over here just because there was like some log jams going on over here. We could see them go zipping down the hill here. We'll see in a second if any of them come back up, but you could see them all moving around there, and the powered rails give a nice boost. Oh, he's going to stop there in each one, especially over here where we need them. No one's gotten stuck since we've put these powered rails in around here, and I'm not sure if anyone's going to come down, but the couriers have been favoring it. They used to take the other roadway that's in between the town hall here and the house there, but now it seems like they favor using the rail system to get around back and forth, which is great to see. Let's see if he comes up. Yep. Oh, nope. So close. Oh, let's see if couriers. Let's see if a courier will. Here we go. Just want to get one going up the hill. Yeah, so they got some pretty good speed coming up. So no log jams there, but I think the rail system's going to help hopefully alleviate and make it a little bit easier to get them around. So let's head on over to the other side of our colony right now, because one of the other things we've been doing some good research too. We've been trying to stay on top of that, but something that we did over here on our most recent live stream as well was that we put in a second mine over here. It's just a level 1 mine. We'll have to do some upgrading on it, but I wanted to get a second mine on the other side of the colony. Chat during our live streams and I were talking about this. We wanted to have them on different sides because our mine is over here, and it's probably far reaching under the ground there. So the other one we put in right here because it's on the other side of the colony. We didn't get a chance to terraform in this area, these areas over here yet on the walls. And I didn't want him like digging right here, like putting the mine right here, because of there is like deep water over here, so that he doesn't get like flooded in, like the mine shaft doesn't get flooded there. So, but I think this will be like a good addition, and he got started, I'm pretty sure. Yep, he's down that way, but that way we're going to increase the amount of ore that we have available to us as well. I'm hoping, because our miner came back with a ton of lapis lazuli, a good amount of redstone, a good amount of gold, copper, and a decent amount of diamonds they've come back with. But I'm hoping that we can increase the output, especially of diamonds, especially diamonds. But right now he's stuck to stone tools, unfortunately, for the time being. But we taught our blacksmith the recipe for some of these stone tools so that they can have them. It looks like we're still waiting to get some. He actually already picked up some coal, so that's cool. There we have more than enough coal and charcoal here. But yeah, so this was another big development this week, was getting this in. We're also, now that we have this over here, we do have to upgrade. We forgot one house. This one's still currently a level 2 house, the one on the right there. We do have to upgrade that because I think we're going to have to do another shifting of the colonists to areas that are a little bit closer, especially our newest colonist. Because let me head over quickly before it becomes dark, and then we'll jump into today's build. We had a huge change of people who were working in our library, and that's because we hired 4 new, well, I guess, guards. Whoa. We hired 4 new guards recently, because we do have, the barracks towers over here. Let me just park right here. So getting to be very impressive, but each unit now has it has the ability to have 4 knights. So, well, 4 guards, I should say, not knights. But I figure what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 knights, an archer, and a druid, because they all seem to like patrol together. So I figure like the archers don't do so well with closer combat. Obviously they're helpful when we're fighting pirates or barbarians outside the wall, but they're not as helpful among general mobs if any mobs are to spawn, which we spawn proofed the colony this week as well. We went around and checked at night. We had to get some phantom membranes, which we got a few for it can make sure I'm repairing the elytra. But we light proofed it, or hopefully spawn proofed it. But I still think we're going to do 2 knights and an archer and a druid in each one. So right now we do have 3 vacancies here, and each of the other barracks towers. This one went right up to 4. This is our newest one, but we do have 3 other openings, and we do have someone training in the combat academy as we speak there. So eventually I think we're going to run them through. I'm not in a rush to get them over here. Let me show one more thing too, but that'll be very exciting to keep watch of. But one of the other things I did recently, we can see everyone's tucked in the bed, maybe I don't even have to go down there, was the guard tower that's right there. That we have a guard tower that's further down now at the very edge of our colony. That used to be where the edge of our colony was, where that guard tower was. That guard tower was the second guard tower that we built after our first one here. And I took the archer that was located at that one, and I converted him into a knight, and I'm having him patrol the mine now over there. Because it's really far down. It's already at its maximum depth, our mine over here. So, and I think he's starting to like branch mine out. So I figured it might be a good time. We probably should have did it a while ago. We haven't had a miner die, knock on wood. Another miner, for in that sense, the nether miner is a different story. But I figured that it would be a good idea to have a guard patrolling it. So we did set that up as well, just to make sure that the miner is safe. But those are a lot of the big changes that we made this week there. And what we're going to do for today's build is we're going to build a florist there. And right after we sleep, what we'll do is we'll head on right over there. And I could show off too that we do have a second composter now. So we could kind of take a look at that to increase our compost output. But we'll go forward and do the florist. So let me head on over there. We're going to be building it on the eastern side of our colony. So let me head on over there and we'll start today's build. Okay, so we're over here in the eastern part of our colony, which I think we're going to try to start making more use of this land down here. We had walled it off, but we have not really used it too much to date. You can see we do have a second composter as one of our most recent live streams here. But yeah, we have a lot of undeveloped land over here. So I think that, where we can, we're going to try to plug some more builds in down here and do a little bit more work on the wall and make this area, remove the trees and kind of make this area more, a functioning part of our colony. But with that being said, what we're going to do today is we're going to build a flower shop. And I felt that this is a good time to do it because we got a second composter. And our farmers have been going through compost like crazy. It's like the output, like all of the output like automatically goes to the farmers. So I felt that the second composter was necessary so that we can also support a flower shop. That way we're going to up the amount of composters because our current one's at level 3, but the composter here is at level 1. We're going to get that upgraded over the next coming live streams. But the flower shop, I feel, is important because we need flowers. And, for different types of dyes and even for some of the builds that require like tulips, for example, that are a little bit harder to come by. I've been relying on the wandering trader to an extent for white and red tulips, but it'd be nice if we could grow them or get a steady supply of them. Hopefully, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and sunflowers and the like, in our colony here. So it not only not only for the dyes, but also hopefully dandelions for medicine, because again, like dandelions are also used as a cure, which we're also going to need a beekeeper sometime soon as well. We have a lot of beehives around, but to make sure we have a constant supply of honey as well. But yeah, so let's go ahead and let's start talking about the florist hut. So the flower shop cannot be built until you have a level 3 composter or 3 level 1 composter. So of course our total levels here are 4. We do have a level 3 one, so we do have that component already unlocked. And you do need to do the research in the university. Again, it's a good reminder to always stay on top of the research when you're able. And the relevant research is the flower power research. It requires some compost to get the research going, but that will unlock the flower shop for you. So the florist will need compost and an axe, which I found to be a very interesting choice for gardening, an axe. So instead of a hoe, but so not only compost but also an axe. And like all the builds, the higher the building level, the more output that can come from the building. So at a level 1, we're going to be able to get four plants out of that. 2, 8, 3, 12, 4, 16, 5, 20. So we'll look to probably get this upgraded relatively quickly as well. That should be a decent amount of output there. And yeah, so let's go ahead and let's craft the block over here. And it's fitting we have a ton of flowers over here already. So fertile land. But let's go ahead and let's put the spruce planks around here and just enough. Put the build tool up there, and we're going to need a poppy. Specifically a poppy, it looks like, because on the MineColonies wiki is a very good resource, but I was looking and it looks like it will only take a poppy for this. So let's go ahead and create the block, and we're going to place it right back behind the composter, so it's like right here. And I feel like this is like a good little farming area down here as well. We do have the farm on the other side of the colony, but it's kind of right now there's not a lot of room just in that area, so this feels like a good place to put it down here. So we're going to put it behind this one. I'm going to put it back to back. So what we're going to do, I'm going to place it down, and then obviously some trees are going to have to come down here. But let's go ahead, and of course there will be some flashing from the pack. So if you're sensitive to flashing, now's a good time to look away. But let's go ahead and use our build tool. And I think we're going to do, can we do stone? I'll do stone since that kind of fits the area. So let me see if let's make sure it's at the right level. And it's a little bit bigger than I thought it was going to be. Of course, I'm guessing back here is where they're going to grow the flowers. Okay, so this is, I think, oh, this is a tree. I was trying to figure out, I'm like, what is the deal there? We'll leave a little bit of space behind, but wow, this is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. Okay, but it fits in, it still fits in relatively well. Let's see this thing at a level 5. Okay. So not too bad. And we could see, I guess, here, okay, so these are probably, okay, the different flowers that it grows. I think that we'll take a look in the GUI, but I believe you could turn certain ones off, because obviously we don't really have a need for poppies, just because, again, we have so many of them. Oh, and it's got like a nice little greenhouse thing going in at the higher level too. I like that. Okay. So I think this is lined up. Let me just make sure we're at the correct height. I believe that we are, because this is already up a level. But let me just, I think we're going to... Let's see. Actually, I think this is the correct level now that I'm looking at it here. This is a little elevated over here, though. Let me see. Because if we put it back... Actually, no, I think this is the correct level here. Okay. So I think this is pretty well lined up. And I think the front has to be over here. I think we just stepped in some water. Let's see where the... Let's see, I'm just trying to figure out where the front door is. And it's right here. Okay. So let's see. Maybe we should flip this around. Let me... Oop. Yeah, this is the front door. Here, this is a big one, and it's tough with all the stuff in the way, all the trees. Okay, good. We'll have to do some terraforming over here. Good, okay. Oh wait, no, is this the back way still? Yeah, because there's still... Let me guess, is this the front way? This is the front way, okay. Doors everywhere, hard to figure out. Okay, I think this might be the... Yeah, I think this is the correct way now. So, okay, let's go ahead and bring this back. Sorry about that. I know a lot of maneuvering around. I'm just trying to get my bearings with it. All right, leave a little bit of room between them, so chunk border's good. And I think we're looking pretty good over here. Let me just check over here. Of course, I think we're gonna end up terraforming this down. So this little mound over here, we'll bring that down. We'll have that brought down eventually. But yeah, this is the appropriate height to fill in the water there. So yeah, so this looks to be good, I believe. So let's go ahead and let's finally plop this down and right on top of the water. But yeah, so you can see, okay, so the plantable, so it looks like we might only be able to do at the beginning just poppies and dandelions. But let's go ahead and let's take a look here. 10 poppies, we should have that. 10 dandelions, we might have to go find those. Composted dirt. Okay, so the rest of this stuff they should have. We'll have to get some composted dirt, and I think we're going to have to get some more dandelions too. But other than that, it shouldn't be too bad. So I think we're going to do this by way of a time lapse. So stay tuned, and we'll see this thing built. and we're back. So took some time to get this all constructed. It's actually a lot bigger than I thought this was going to be. I thought it would be kind of comparable to the composter size wise, at level 1, but here it is, and I think it actually looks really cool. I started Emmy taking down some trees and doing some terraforming over here, but yeah, I like the look of this build a lot. It's nice, it's big. There, nice little touch with the flowers, like in the front here. These aren't ones, it would appear that they're going to grow over here. This is just like a nice little garden in front. And then, inside here, I like that with the skylight. That looks really cool there. And, out here is where they're going to grow the flowers with the compost blocks right here. So you can see we have space for 4 flowers currently. So let's head back in here. I also went ahead and you could see our florist, Lance, who we picked Lance because he has great dexterity, which was one of the key ones. Let me just hop back in here and show. So this one uses dexterity, not so great agility, but the dexterity is pretty good there. So we picked Lance to be the florist. So what I also did too, what I also uncovered, so you can't turn these off. You can see on the bottom there, when I try to turn it off, we get that randomly grows the flowers in this list. Upgrade the flower shop to level 3 or above to select them manually. So I would like to turn off the poppies, but we'll have to get up to level 3 first. I also set some minimum stock, which I do recommend doing for a lot of your production buildings with tools and, in this situation with compost as well. So that way there should be 3 stacks of compost hopefully delivered at some point here, and 3 axes as well. I'm not sure if they put anything. I don't see anything on the racks either, but let's go ahead and take a look here at level 2. And it's looking pink tulips. So the tulips are the hardest to find. We may have some, I know we have red and white, but we're also going to need orange and pink. I might have to go back across the ocean. There's like a nice little village with flowers all around it, so I might have to go back there and try to grab some. I'll have to see what we have in the inventory. But yeah, so it gets a little pricey, but we'll definitely want to get this up to level 3 soon so we could get more types of crops. And let's see, did the pig get stuck in here? Oh no, he's outside. Okay. There, but yeah, so looking great. I think this is going to be really good. We'll pop back in probably in the next episode. I'm hoping, we'll probably get this upgraded in the next couple live streams. So I'll have to go find some flowers, but we can go and we'll do that, get this upgraded. We could pop back up in here. I'll give an update about how everything's been going with the second composter and our florist and that. So, but yeah, I think we're going to leave it here for today. Thank you so much for coming in and watching the building of the florist. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please consider dropping a like down below. It's an excellent free way to help the channel out so more people could find our little community here. And if you do want to see more content like this, please hit the subscribe button. It really does help out a lot. It lets me know that you guys do enjoy this content, and it does help the channel out tremendously here. And we also have a Discord, so if you do have a Discord, please feel free. The invitation link is in the About Me section there to head on over to our Discord, which is open to everyone. We'll be back in a week. I'm looking for maybe some suggestions for our next build. I'm leaning towards the beekeeper, but I'm going to take a look and see. I'm not sure what we're going to go with yet. So, but I'll post it on the Discord, as I always post a schedule every week. So head on over there, and I should know hopefully by Sunday what we're going to be looking to do next week. But thank you so much. My name is Nerd Builder. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.